It took us like 5 minutes to get set up. Jeez.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to spill any.
I'm out of practice with videos.
I want to thank Deep Throat for leaving a few of these behind. I forgot we had these.
Yeah.
I want that stuff. That's some good cores.
Mm-hmm. What are you guys drinking?
Rum.
Oh, cool. You got any left?
Yeah, we got a little bit left. Whew, sorry, just that first sip of it, and it's like...
Yeah, that's a little bit.
I forgot there's another bottle on the shelf.
Oh, you guys are bringing that out when Tony gets here, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I might have to hide that.
Well, I don't know. I don't share my rum.
Oh, you will when you get here. I will see
nope,
to that.
I don't want my rum gone.
Where's my rum going? What's wrong?
I drank it.
Well, we know that Shyla has a story for everybody about, it was a co-worker, wasn't it?
Sorry.
Yeah, because you're kind of coming out of retirement for this one, right, Shyla?
Yeah,
you said you weren't going to do no more, and now you're out of retirement. You know, just like those WWE wrestlers. They say, I'm going to retire, and then they come back 4 years later. I'm going to retire again another 5 years. Here they come again. Yeah, you ain't going away, are you?
No, well, see, here's the thing, is I haven't actually retired from the activism. I just stopped with the videos and interacting with the community because of all of the haters.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't handle with everything else that was on my plate of working full time, school, being, doing my nonprofit stuff. I didn't have the time to deal with the haters. And quite honestly, you know what? I spent 29 years in that negative, toxic environment.
Yeah.
Why should I have to put up with it now?
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
And, I'm at the point now, any negative people, BS on my Facebook or whatever, they're gone. I don't even give them a chance because it's like, don't start shit, it won't be shit, is my theory. And people just love starting shit.
Good one.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd come out of my, sabbatical from doing videos just to update that I'm still busy. Yeah, happy hour. And I'm sure when Tony's here, we'll be doing videos.
Might have to do another one.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do some cameo appearances. But I still am a very good unwitness.
Good. Why don't you tell us this experience? Because I think this is a good one.
So I guess it's a coworker, kind of. She's more like a friend. But she had come in on her break, and we were just chit-chatting, and I think it started by her asking how James and I met. And it's like, how do you do that? I mean, how do you start that story? Well, we met at a Jehovah's Witness convention in Rio Rancho, and I mean, they're not going to understand it, so...
She just went with the clean, hot truth.
I said, oh, we met at a cult convention. Yeah. And she just, looked at me, and so then... And then at that point, I had to explain, we used to be Jehovah's Witness. We met at one of their gatherings, blah, blah, blah. And, she had the typical response like, really? They're a cult? Are you sure? I'm like, I was in it, born in it, and in it for 29 years. Trust me, it's a cult. So, we just started talking, and she had a lot of questions because, of course, she's had witnesses show up at her door, and oh, they seem so nice. I'm really shocked to hear that they're really like this. Yeah. So, she just had a lot of questions, and, she mainly wanted to know why it was a cult. So I shared with her Steve Hassan's bite model.
How did she react to that?
Huh?
How did she react to that?
Oh, she saw it.
She did?
Yeah,
okay.
She saw it.
Good.
And actually, even at one point, after I had been telling her a lot about the witnesses, I started comparing that to some other cult-like groups that are popular right now. And so anyway, as I was comparing the two, like I went through each one, like this is the behavior control. And I showed her examples of how the witnesses do that. And she's just like, wow. And she's like, and you were born into this, but yet you realized you were in a cult. And I told her, I says, well, you know, thankfully the indoctrination didn't, I mean, I was indoctrinated, but not at the scale that is being done now with the young people.
Yeah.
And she's like, what do you mean? So immediately I thought of Fairy Tale Sparlock video.
What our favorite?
Yeah, one of her favorites. And actually, I was going to watch it yesterday, but I got interrupted and I couldn't watch it. So I'm going to do that this weekend because I haven't watched that for a while. And that was actually the very first apostate video I watched, was his Sparlock video.
Shout out to Tom, JW Fairy Tale. We love you, brother.
Thank you, Tom.
We love you. Yeah. This course is for you.
I'm not sharing my rum.
She's kind of selfish with that rum, isn't she?
Yeah.
So anyway, I was going to show her Fairy Tales video, but then I'm like, no, she needs to see the full video. So I'm on YouTube, and I'm like trying to find it, and like I couldn't actually find the video because, well, you know, Watchtower doesn't want that getting out. So it was funny because I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. www.jw.org. And I'm like...
So you became part of their, like, you know, thousands of hits per day, right?
I was one of the hits yesterday. I was one of their hits.
Shame on you. But I thought you knew better than that by now.
But it was for a good cause.
It was for a good cause. It was. So... But, like, as I'm typing and I'm like, oh, God, I feel icky just going here. Like, I'm going to get some kind of computer STI. Demons are going to come out of the screen and strangle me. So, anyway, it took me a few minutes to find, like, their kids' videos. So, I started the Sparlock one for her. And this was her face while she was watching. And then, so that was her face, and then I forget what point it was. Now, she's had no like serious interaction with witnesses. She's never seen any of the cartoons, and I loved what she said. She's like, it's a toy!
Sparlock's a toy, yeah.
Like, it's just a toy. It's not demonic. So, you know, this is coming from a worldly person. And so anyway, we get through the video, and at that point where the snake comes down and is wrapped around the toy, she's like, what is that? So I had to stop it, and I'm like, okay, well, this snake is Satan. And she's like, oh my God! It's Satan right by his head wrapped around a toy? Oh yeah, because you're going to turn to Satan if you play with wizard toys. So, we got back to it, and all through the video, like, I was hearing her, like, oh, like, I was hearing her, like, disgust with it. So we got done with the video, I stopped it, and I looked at her and I'm like, so honestly, what did you think? And she's like, Shyla, is that a real video? And honestly, she was shocked. She's like, is that a real video that the Jehovah's Witnesses produced or made? I'm like, yes, it is. That is what they're showing their kids starting from when they're babies. And she goes, oh my God, that is horrible.
James?
So, just so everybody knows that it is a real video because it is .org. It cannot be changed or stipulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was just going to stop at that, and she's like, play another one. And she's looking at the titles. And
Play another one.
I forget which one it was.
More, please, more.
Right. Well, just, think about it. From somebody who isn't a witness, not realizing that this is what they do, that who these people knocking on your doors are.
Exactly, Shyla, because that's the only perception they have of Jehovah's Witnesses as, the Saturday morning door knockers. That's the only perception the world has.
Right.
The really nice people. That's what she had said.
So
They're
nice.
so nice. Like,
Of course, they're so nice.
nice this way.
Yeah. So anyway, I forget which other one it was, but she read the title and she's like, can we watch that one? She's like, we don't have to watch the whole thing, but I just want to see it. And I think it was the one with, it was one of them with Sophia, and she's just so down and depressed because she doesn't have the courage to witness to her schoolmates who just lost their grandma.
Jehovah will help you be bold.
Yep. Yeah, it was that one. And I think she only got like 3 minutes in. She's like, okay, I've seen enough. So something else that was interesting is because I wasn't exactly sure, because it's not like Barlock the Warrior Wizard. It's not that title. So I'm like, I'm not exactly sure which one it was. So I clicked on the first one, and that was like Anthony Morris the Turd's intro. And so I was going to just stop, and she's like, no, I want to see this. Who is this guy? So I explained it to her, and then as we were watching, she's like, oh, I feel icky. I feel icky just listening to him talk.
You hear that, tight pants?
Yeah, you hear that? You make people icky.
Good one, James.
Man, it makes me want to just take off my pants. They're getting tight. Okay. I'm not
So anyway, it was just interesting because, here's somebody who hasn't had any real interaction with witnesses other than knocking on the door.
Yeah.
And I told, and one of the questions she asked is like, how do they indoctrinate you? And I'm like, well, you know what? Let me tell you. So I told her, as soon as they say, we're studying the Bible with you. No, you're studying their literature, and they're using the Bible to make it seem legit.
Yeah.
And anyway, so by time it was all said and done, I had told her, I said, if you ever see them again or know of any of your friends or ever meet anybody who's studying with them, turn them to YouTube and tell them, research it. Because you know what? You got so many of us ex-apostates who are trying to educate the public of what these people are really like.
Yeah.
And of course I had told her about the shunning, and the child molestation. And when I started telling her about the one that's locally, that happened here in Los Lunas.
Yeah.
And I told her, and she was just like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. So she invited him over to their house to show the elders that she forgave him, and he ended up molesting her daughter while he was there. And she was just like, oh my God!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And, something else I forgot is, because Tight Pants, he's like, we had my book of Bible stories, and now Jehovah's blessing us with the cartoons.
Yeah.
So I told her, I'm like, well, after this, I'll tell you what that book is. So I told her, I said, the book, my book of Bible stories, talks about rape, that she left Jehovah, so she ended up getting raped, Dinah. And then I said, there's one picture where there's a guy who's holding up a baby like this, about ready to cut it in half, and her face was just like horrified. And I said, those were my childhood stories that I was read before bed.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I helped teach them.
Bad daddy.
Wait, well, you know which I gotta say, you guys did an epic fail at teaching me this series.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I mean, for once in my life, I'm glad to hear that I was an epic failure.
Actually, you know what? I gotta show you this picture. I don't know if it's gonna come up.
Godzilla facepalm.
And then at the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, but it says when Godzilla gives you the face palm, you know the fail is epic. Yeah.
Yeah.
He only did that a few times.
No, he only did it once. And actually, it wasn't a face palm. He got a spider spear in his eye.
Yeah.
Hey, I know Godzilla.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you
I know Godzilla.
Gojira.
Or I tried.
Oh, he tries and he
You know, maybe.
epically fails.
I stopped. Okay.
You know, maybe that's why the indoctrination really didn't catch, because as Jehovah's Witnesses, we really didn't follow their entire guideline, did we?
We really didn't do family worship.
Well, we did.
Well,
We tried, but
But the thing is
was
a lot
so
of the other
boring.
things. Well, a lot of the other things we weren't supposed to be doing. We were doing, like watching, questionable shows, questionable programs. and
violent
things like
video
that.
games. Oh yeah, I played Halo.
Oh, Mike, you are watching HBO.
Well, no, we didn't have cable, but we were up watching other programs.
we watched in living color.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
That was a bad show. Witnesses did not watch that show. And it's so funny because the Wayans, those kids were all raised as witnesses. That's what's so funny about all that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Which one?
Oh, Jared DeMilo is my favorite character.
Yes.
I told him if his hair is long enough for Halloween, he should do the pigtails and
On
do like
both
the
sides.
bikini and just be Vera DeMille for Halloween.
I'll have to grow out my hair armpits.
That would be funny. Yeah.
So, in the end, how does your co-worker now feel about Jehovah's Witnesses?
Oh, she's disgusted.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, what's funny is she's like, I want to know more about this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I turned her on to a well-known apostate couple on YouTube.
Mark and Cora?
Apparently, someone said just a fart in the wind.
Yeah, just some old fart in the wind, huh?
Oh, that can't be Mark and Cora
No.
then.
No, that ain't Mark and Cora, so that's going to be affectionately, broadcasted to me.
You introduced her to those two crazy people? Oh my God.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking, but it was the only names I could think of because they're so funny.
You mean
Well, and
idiotic.
actually, huh?
You mean idiotic.
Knuckleheads.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, they're the only ones that has another version of an archive.
Yeah.
I actually introduced her to JW Fairy Tale too. I told her that one.
Good.
Good.
You know, he has that series where he tells the whole story of like dealing with the elders and them sabotaging them and all of that too. So
Cool.
I don't know what'll come of it, but you know what? I feel very confident in claiming that hour of time.
I think you should. You ought to write it on a little piece of paper and send it off the Watchtower. Oops, I forgot to turn in my time.
Oh, I like that.
You should.
Oh, you know
We
what?
should.
We ought to come up with something as a community to
Start sending in time
start
slips.
sending in time slips with the amount of time that we spend unwitnessing.
Oh, I love that idea.
And instead of books, write, how many books and say.
How many YouTube videos we did this particular week? Go ahead, Kim.
Right? How many books witnesses gave us? How many
Here's
YouTube
the thing.
videos? Yeah.
Start going through Mike and Kim's videos and start a trivia.
Well, you notice we cleaned off the shelf up here. We got more books coming. Somebody's sending us a whole bunch of books.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I had to clean off another shelf. So all of my worldly paperbacks had to go in the bedroom on those shelves. So
Well,
Okay. So, I want to document this. On July 10th, 2015 at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Or wait, are we Central? No, we're Mountain Time.
we're Mountain Time.
We're Mountain Time. We document that we came up with this idea of sending in false service time. That way, if anybody else steals it from you as their idea,
There you go.
bullshit.
There you go.
Because you know who likes stealing your stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yep. But yeah, that would be funny. That would be good.
We ought to maybe, you know what, Spike R is really good about doing this. Maybe he can come up with some little catchy title like, unreported time from apostates. Or
Now think about this. Think about this, Shyla. You did a really good job on the Unwitnessed because you even used jw.org.
Yeah.
I know!
Yeah.
I used jw.org to unwitness to this person.
Don't see that.
How prophetic is that?
Don't see that very often, do you?
Well, that
You scared away a perfectly good study.
I know.
Well, that's the whole thing about, the Jehovah's Witness mindset. They can't comprehend that their own works, their own words are working against them. They come out with these little cutesy cartoons that think it's going to help the children, come to Jehovah's organization, and then when adults that don't know anything about Jehovah's Witnesses sees these cartoons and these things, and to these people it's absolutely ludicrous. Now, these people, like your co-worker, is never going to become a JW, never going to study with them, and she's going to let all of her friends and family know what's going on. So, it really works against them.
And I think
it does.
that does so much damage to Watchtower. I think it's a really good thing, if everybody could do that. Not everybody can do YouTube videos.
No.
But if they could do this unwitnessing, and like you said before, get rid of the food supply.
Yeah.
Educate the general public.
Educate the public.
Oh, they're such nice people. No, this is what they are. They're a damaging cult that shuns family members.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Those
it
are
hides child molesters.
Yeah.
And who indoctrinates children and cults and all of that. And actually, it was funny because each time, after the turd finished talking, I stopped it and I asked her, I said, can you see the mind control? And she's like, I can see it. And I can see the fear that they're exerting on people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after each video, I'd ask her, I'm like, do you see the indoctrination that they're doing? Can you see that they're using fear as that emotional control to keep people in?
Yeah.
And see, and what's funny, okay, one apostate right here. I told one person, how many people is she going to tell now?
Well, darn well she's going to go home and tell her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably going to go watch the video and realize, oh my goodness, this is not right.
One of the videos of the Caleb and Sophia cartoons that shocked me and made me very angry, the newer ones aside, but was the one, pay attention at meetings. To me, that one was so disturbing because it has Noah sitting there, playing games instead of listening to instructions from Jehovah. Well, then him and his family go to get in the ark, and the water's starting to come up, and it falls apart, and they drown. And then the little game controller comes up, and it says, game over. So, that's telling kids that you're going to die if you do not pay attention at meetings and learn about Jehovah. I mean, how sick is that?
Every time...
morbid and fear tactic.
Yeah.
And every time Watchtower comes out with one of these cartoons, it's getting so easy to look behind the intent, Watchtower's intent, and be able to reverse the psychology on them. For instance, the one about Sophia giving up her ice cream money.
Yeah.
And putting it in the contribution box. I mean, my goodness, why would Watchtower come out with a cartoon like that would deprive a child of ice cream, when every child in this world, that's their dream, that's their fantasy, to go meet the ice cream truck and have an ice cream, and yet Watchtower deprives them of that through this cartoon.
Well, not only that, the reason why Watchtower wants their money, because they know ice cream's expensive nowadays. $5 a cone, I tell you. I spent $15 on 3 of them.
Yeah, see, that money belongs in the contribution box.
I know, I'm not a kid either.
Man, it would be cheaper just to go get a box of empty cones and a carton.
Don't tell the kids that. Watchtower have a donation box for that.
And this new one they've got of protect your children from child molesters. It's like...
What?
Yeah.
Was that Green Goblin?
No, we
or is
did.
this the new one?
This is the new one. This one's
The
associated
new one.
with the latest JW broadcast for the month of July.
But they do have this weird, dark, phantom-looking figure that comes up and he's like, to Caleb. And Caleb's like, I don't know what that means, but that's creepy. Stop it.
Yeah.
And it's like, too little, too late.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe the rum's gotten to me, but I think that's so funny. I don't know what that means.
Can
Get away from me.
Since they're so good with subliminal images, I'm pretty sure that was the turd behind there.
That thing is loaded with subliminal images.
What's interesting about this particular video, Caleb and Sophia cartoon, is it starts off with the old mom and dad sitting them down or kneeling down in front of them and trying to help them comprehend that there's a bad element. They don't go so far and say there's a bad element in the Kingdom Hall, but but it's a safe assumption because Caleb and Sophia, being well trained, indoctrinated Jehovah's Witnesses, are not associating with worldly people. So the only association that they're getting are with adult Jehovah Witness and other Jehovah Witness children. So now you've got mom and dad helping Sophia and Caleb understand that there is a bad element within the organization. And that's what makes this so ridiculous from Watchtower standpoint, because they didn't sit and comprehend. We better not do this because everybody already knows that Jehovah's Witnesses are an isolated group. They don't have worldly friends. They don't spend the night at a worldly person's house because, the good mom and dad, JW, won't allow that. So now, where does this element of abuse, where does the element of abuse stem from? Within the organization. And these guys are so stupid.
The only other...
See, that's why you need to follow my retirement plan for you.
What's that?
Oh, you remember? I told you last week.
Hey, I slept since then. You'll have to remind me.
Oh, that's right. You're getting old now.
Yeah, that's right.
He gets paid for it now.
You want me to remind you?
Sure.
My plan? Okay. Well, remember, I had told you for your retirement plan, you need to contact Watchtower and give them 2 options. Option A, option B. Okay? Option A, you tell them, hire me to be your new writer for all of your literature. I'll make sure I'll clean up your mess. I'll concise everything. I'll get it down, and then you get paid, I don't know, Well, I think at your age and what you've gone through, I think like $150,000 a year.
Well, look. Why don't we start at 3, and I'll settle for 150. Because you know,
to negotiate.
yeah, that's right. Because you can always come down, but it's more difficult to go up.
Right, exactly.
But there's another option. I just made it up. A pair of the turds tight pants signed by him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I know like there might be one or two
Maybe
people who'd be willing to pay for that.
Maybe we'll make that option C, but what's option B?
Oh shoot, I don't remember option B. It was something about a huge payoff, and you would just go away.
just leave YouTube
Yeah.
altogether.
I think
Yeah.
it was like $3-5 million, and that's it.
Yeah, I
Something
think
like
it was
They'll
that.
disappear.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take more than that to pay us off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, getting back to that
Well,
video.
wait, we
Oh,
forgot option D.
There's an option D.
Well, there was an option C, but he took option C. But option D was you don't want that one because that's where just Watchtower just whacks you.
Yeah, no, I don't want option D. No.
Yeah.
But
And see-
it's probably a pretty safe bet that Watchtower is counting on option D.
Yeah, well, but see, okay, because I know Watchtower watches your videos. Okay, take some advice, Watchtower. Make sure nothing happens to them, because if anything ever happens to them, you're going to be the number one suspect. And 2, do you know how many apostates are going to go after you? I mean, they'll become martyrs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they didn't want to whack Napoleon, because they knew if they whacked him, he'd be a martyr, and it would revitalize the French Revolution again.
Yeah.
And if I may be so bold to say, forgive me, XJWs, but I know some of you are very crazy.
Yeah.
I'll be calling you to ask for help.
So anyway, go back.
Well, just going back to that Caleb and Sophia cartoon, what's interesting is that, you know, the mom and dad use a small chalkboard in the beginning, and then all of a sudden when they get to the seriousness, that chalkboard becomes a full screen version. And at certain points through that video, different images are embedded on that chalkboard, and some of them are very scary.
Really?
Yeah, you can
There's
see
like demon faces.
demon
and stuff.
faces. There's even up in one of the corners I think in one of the corners a screaming death mask. And the thing is you know, if you don't freeze frame it and focus on the chalkboard, you'll never pick them up. That's why you've got to freeze frame it and just kind of let your, you know, mind relax, and then you can look at what's embedded. And if I remember correctly, there was even a picture of Baphomet on that chalkboard.
Really?
Yeah. And, you know, and if you really think about it, if you're going to hide a subliminal picture, what better place to do it than on a chalkboard? Because a chalkboard is something that you erase, and there's always a ghost figure left behind from the chalk. Mm-hmm. So what a brilliant, I hate to say Watchtower's brilliant in this concept, they were. What a brilliant place to hide subliminal fear tactic images, because it's right there on the chalkboard, and the parent watching this isn't even going to think to check what images are left behind on that chalkboard.
Well, I don't think parents watch these cartoons. I think they just turn them on the TV and they set their kid in front of it. And in our latest videos, I have a picture of a baby on its stomach on like a bed or something, and they have a tablet with a Caleb cartoon right in front of this poor little baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
it's sad.
it's
truly,
really
truly
sad, you know, because you don't know any better. I didn't know any better because this is how I was raised. You know, you don't know any better because this is how you were raised.
Right.
They were jealous of the Dora Explorer show.
I've never seen that show, so.
Where did that come from?
I've seen it on passing, but yeah, I'm pretty legit. I know what I'm talking about.
Are you admitting he watches it?
Huh?
Is he admitting he watches it?
I said in passing.
He had young nieces.
Yeah, I had.
Well,
I did
when we
have
went to Arizona, the girls were watching it, so.
Oh,
Oh, that's okay. I admit I've watched the Muppet Show, and I still like the Muppets. In fact, I'm
hey,
wearing
what's wrong
my.
with that? It's this new cartoon stuff.
Yeah. And actually, the thing is with the cartoons, you would be surprised what they sneak in those.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
James was just showing me, it was posted on Facebook, and it was an old Mickey Mouse cartoon, and they're working in a cheese factory. You got cheddar cheese here and Swiss cheese here, and you got the conveyor belt. And, like, I had to watch the video a second time because he's like, you didn't see it, did you? And I'm like, no. So Mickey has the block of cheese, and you can see he has it. He's up, and he's humping the cheese, putting the holes in it to make the Swiss cheese.
Oh, really?
It starts out as cheddar, and he just pokes it, and then he
It's
puts it back
Swiss.
on the conveyor belt, and like voila.
And this was like, you can tell this was one of the first old Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Wow.
Wow.
It's like the
Yeah.
the 1930s, 1940s.
Yeah,
And
I
I was like,
when the world still perceived things in black and white, huh?
yeah.
Before color.
Yeah.
Before color was discovered.
Hey,
You had enough, James.
you saw that?
That's right.
She's cutting you
All
off.
right, I got the ball.
I took the rest of his and bumped it in mine.
We saw that.
The whole YouTube community saw that.
The entire world just seen that. Poor James.
So,
No, you're gonna edit that out, right?
no.
Sure, yeah, right.
It's too funny apparently.
So, okay. I gotta admit this. Okay, so when I was talking to my friend, I don't know why, I started ranting to her about, like, back in my day, it was hard to be a witness.
Actually had to go door to door, huh?
Right, because I don't remember what had led up to that part of the conversation, but, like, I was true biz ranting because I'm like, back in my day, I had to walk the whole frickin' block in 110-degree weather in the middle of summer. We didn't get any breaks.
Uphill both ways.
Yeah. And that's how I got the scar on my knee, busted my knee open. So I'm telling her, and okay, in my day, we had to deal with guns in the face, a dog's attacking you, people yelling at you, cursing at you. And look at the witnesses today. All they have to do is pull their little cart behind them, set it up, and then they just walk away, and then they're on their phones and tablets. Oh, yeah, witnesses, I see you doing that. You're pathetic.
Yeah.
You're so happy that you have to take selfies that behind you is some poor homeless person that just asking for $1. You're sitting there in the coffee shop with your donut stuffed in your face. You are the laziest generation I've ever seen.
Speaking about this, Deep Throat sent me an email, and I've been waiting to get it in a video, but since we're talking about this, I'll just do it now, and then I'll insert the clip, after we're done. But he was telling me that he finally saw his first JW literature cart, and he went up, and same thing, he's watching them. They're on their phone, they're taking selfies, they're sitting there with their lattes, on the phone and
Counting
stuff.
time.
And it's funny because I was telling him how, I believe it's on last year's convention, and I'll grab the clip and put it in here.
Please watch a demonstration involving public witnessing and see if you can spot anything that could stop potential interest from developing to the full.
And that's exactly what they're telling them not to do.
It's not working, Watchtower.
That's what they
You can't
do.
control your own people, yet there's so many missing from their chairs.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, Shyla, at least when we were Jehovah's Witnesses, we were proud to be Jehovah's Witnesses. Because we worked our asses off to be Jehovah's Witnesses, didn't we?
Proud to be an asshole.
And we could defend it. I mean, we could actually use the Bible and defend our beliefs.
Well, this is what...
That's what brought it up. She had asked, you know what? I want to look into this more because the next time they come up to my door, I want to argue with them. And I told her, I said, nope, they're just gonna walk away because they're being told not to argue. And then that's what got me in on the ranting about, like, well, back in my day, we could defend our beliefs.
Well, you know what's interesting. Now you guys saw the video, the latest nail in the coffin, and where we tore apart Elder Gary, right?
Oh, the chemicals are busting at the seams.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Shyla, it's all in the timing.
Yeah.
But you know what?
That
you know
was
what?
good timing.
Thank you. But you know what I find so interesting, even with Elder Gary and that whole, thing with Tony, is here we are talking about that when we were Jehovah's Witnesses, we could defend the truth as we perceived it, obviously. But now here's Elder Gary, who's been a Jehovah's Witness for decades, and he couldn't even defend against Tony's questions when Tony was asking those. I mean, even if you've been a Jehovah's Witness for decades, you can't defend it because there's no longer any logical coherence with what they've got. Go ahead, James.
The reason why it wasn't working so well for him to say anything back, his reception.
Yeah, exactly.
Not only that, he didn't have the silver Bible. That wasn't going to be much help. The black one, well,
the
that
rusty sword.
That was just another turd that he would have had to pull out of the dust shelves. The King James, oh, God forbid he even has one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I
hope this is still recording because this is good stuff.
Yeah, it's still recording.
Awesome.
But I just found it. I mean, even your mom and I talked about that afterwards. How they can't even defend the overlapping generation doctrine because even in their mind, even in the recesses of their mind, they know it's bull crap. They know it, but yet...
But they hold on to the bull crap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's squeezing,
out of desperation.
That warmth bullshit just squeezing right through their fingers. But they can't defend it because there's no logical, coherent thing to defend.
There's a picture going around. In fact, I got mine off of a regular Jehovah's Witness website. And at the regional convention, all the flagpoles have the blue jw.org flag flapping in the wind.
So Watchtower's got a flag now?
They've got their own flag now.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
Humorous is L.
And then you sent me the one with the two little kids carrying the little flag.
Mm-hmm.
So it really shows how corporate indoctrinated Watchtower is.
Yeah.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Well, they're selling the product.
Yeah, they're selling the product.
That's what they have to do, and that's what every other cult is doing now. Is Mormon.org, and they've got the little buttons, and they've got all the paraphernalia that they're trying to sell.
You know why?
Same thing, jw.org.
And the reason being is because they can't fill the seat, so they've got to make the money off of merchandise.
Merchandising.
Yep.
And then they'll have flamethrowers. The kids will love it.
Gotta love Mel Brooks.
So when you get a chance, you need to watch Jimmy Fallon's Ew. Just EW. That's where the ew came from. Because he dresses like a teenage girl, and he's like, ew.
It's really good.
Yeah, he plays the teenage girl pretty well, actually. Yeah. But it's ridiculous. It's like, back in my day, if we would have had something like that, we would have been disfellowshipped.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even cleaning the Kingdom Hall, if we would have been playing any other music but Kingdom Melodies, they would immediately ask us to turn it off. And now they've got, witnesses dancing in the Kingdom Hall and at Bethel to that happy song.
Yeah.
So what's next? The Hokey Pokey?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh,
I'm sure somebody's already dreamed that one up.
I can see the chicken dance coming up next.
The Macarena?
The Macarena.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, but remember, they stopped the Macarena because then somebody's like, do you know what they're saying in Spanish? It's obscene! No true Christian should be playing this song.
Did Tony ever text you back?
Yeah, he's in the middle of dinner and time with his kids.
Good.
Okay.
Good for him.
But I told him, I'm like, well, we can do it in person next week.
Yep.
Yes, we can.
So.
Because in case nobody realized it, Tony Prime's coming for my birthday.
Best birthday gift ever, huh?
Yep. Best birthday gift ever. And all I just gotta say is, you guys are losers. Because he's not going to be here for your birthday. It's my birthday.
She is so humble. Don't
Can
you
you
just
see
love
how
her?
she's rubbing that in on us? My goodness.
You're just like your father.
You know what? My birthday's coming up in August. I wonder if I could pull this off by sending a personal invitation to each member of the governing body and say that they are cordially invited to an apostate birthday party.
Do you really want...
Weapons will be checked at the door.
It's like, do you really want Anthony Morris at your birthday party?
Well, yeah, I do, because then I can make
wanna
even
see
more
those
of a
tight
fool
pants.
about him.
Well, I just got to say, I'm excited because last year's birthday sucked.
Yeah, I mean, it was great being together as a family. But when the highlight of the party is when you have a Godzilla cake and your dad sticks like 10 candles in his mouth and lights it all on
I
fire.
thought that was impressive.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Awesome, actually.
That was awesome.
That was the best part of the birthday, was the cake and the flames shooting out of his mouth.
Yeah. I thought that was
So,
pretty
do
cool.
I get a red velvet Darth Vader cake this year?
Maybe.
Huh?
You're being recorded. Don't lie.
Yeah.
I said maybe.
Well, you can always do the Godzilla red velvet cake, too. I'm
Yeah.
okay with Godzilla. Him
Yeah.
and I are this.
Yeah.
Oh, you believe people. Mark, Cara, you guys reignited her love for Godzilla. Yeah,
You got my little...
that.
I know it's upside down, but you got my little Godzilla chibi.
Not only that, I want to thank you guys again for your present for Shyla last year.
Yep,
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah. Here it is.
Yeah.
And I'm getting quite the Godzilla collection. You should go get my big one.
Well, I know you've already got every single movie they've released.
Everyone except Godzilla 1985. It's not on DVD.
Really?
They haven't released it on DVD yet.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
It's a big one, too.
Yeah.
We're going to start a new cult. It's going to be about Godzilla.
He is your new savior and Lord, people. Trust me. He is the truth.
And you don't argue with him.
No.
I recommend watching Godzilla Wars.
Well, if you think about it, the name God is in Zilla. God.
Right.
Zilla. So why can't you see it? I ought to use that in a video. Instead of praying to Ramalama Ding Dong, I ought to pray to, oh God, Zilla. I come before you now, Zilla, to give you thanks for this daily bread, Zilla. I can just see it now.
Here. See.
Can't see it.
Happiness is submission to Godzilla.
Best graffiti ever. Because it says happiness is submission to God, and then somebody spray
Zilla.
canned Zilla. There's another one too. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it's the
I
one.
remember finding this.
Let's see if it'll see the alligator.
Yeah, back it up just a little
It
bit.
says, "Excuse me, sir. Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior Godzilla?" I was bored the other day in class, so I was downloading Godzilla memes. I got some good ones.
Hey, apparently he has an upcoming competitor for the past 2,000 years, but he hasn't shown up yet.
You want me to show this one?
Yes.
Well, I don't want to offend anybody, but
I'm sorry
it's
in advance,
happy
people.
hour.
It's just for laughs.
So you see what that is?
It's the big Jesus.
Yep. It says radioactive Jesus is going to wrestle Godzilla.
Yeah.
I gotta find the way to do this.
Peace.
Godzilla.
approves.
Funny. About like me and my JW photos. All the JW photos, I grab, like the ones with the kids and stuff. I collect them all.
Except mine are funny. Yours aren't funny.
I know, mine are sad. It's sad and pathetic how they're using these kids, to push their propaganda.
Well, you used me to push their propaganda. I remember, here, would you like this tract?
Oh, she's so cute.
Yeah, I'll take it, sweetie. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You still use me to push their propaganda. They're just doing it more efficiently now.
Yeah. Now they have iPads.
Well, now, you remember, Shyla, Lucille? If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have had that Bible study now.
Yeah, you stole it from me.
See? Yep.
Yeah, you always used to steal my Bible studies.
Well, it's because I was pioneering, and I needed all that time.
Yeah.
You could have,
Yeah.
if you found out, you could have just sat in and just gave a comment to, and you would have counted your time.
Confession time, Watchtower. We know that the hours that we placed pioneering are not correct because the three of us would go on a Bible study, and three of us would all count the time.
Confession time!
Oh,
I should probably
And you
correct
can
that
count
on
your
our
time.
records.
Yeah, you probably should correct that.
Now, we also would count the entire time. Because remember, we would study for an hour. Well, then she always had goodies for us. She always had cookies or ice cream. So we would sit there and talk for another hour or two eating goodies. And we would count all that time too.
That's called theocratic. That was all theocratic.
Theocratic warfare, baby. Well, hold that thought. Well, do you remember too when we were studying with her? That's when all of my molars kept coming out every study. So you guys are studying, and I'm having to pull my molar because it's about ready to come out, and I'm counting my time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, come to think of it, you'd spend almost the whole time in the bathroom.
Pulling your
because
teeth.
my molars were coming out.
I think you waited until that night. Wow.
I may share a bit of something I forgot I did a long time ago. I used to count the mileage. Yes, I'd count the time going to meeting, going back, and the time going to meeting. Being in meeting for the time for out service. So I didn't feel so guilty.
I think everybody does that.
Well, see, that's why you can't trust Watchtower's time as to how much time they're spending on a global scale, because all of us have openly admitted now that we're out and we don't give a crap. Hey, we used to fudge on our time.
I wasn't quite done yet. It gets better.
Sorry.
For every time I gave an answer, 15 minutes. Every time I read a scripture, that was 30. That was gold.
Damn it! Why didn't I think of that? I could have gotten my pioneer time.
But I was nice on this part. for every mile that I drove, going back and forth, it was 5 minutes per mile.
Wow.
My parents were really wondering, how the hell did you get all that time? Like, I'm just good.
Informal witnessing.
Yeah, I tell them, I go to high school. You know there's a lot of people hurting. Go ahead, Kim.
I was just going to say, I'm losing my battery. I've used up almost all of my battery, so I think we should say goodbye to everybody.
Oh, well, alright.
But don't hang up.
Oh,
Okay.
alright.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Great to see you again.
Enjoy the outtakes.
I'm sorry, when she said they're holding on to the bull crap, for some reason I'm seeing them. We need to make it to paradise. They're climbing the turd that's coming out of the cow's ass. They're like, there's paradise, go for it.
Well, there's a reason why we affectionately call him Tony Morris the Turd.
He's the first one out.
He's the way to paradise. Follow him in his tight pants.
We're just watching a very grotesque version of the movie Ant or A Bug's Life.
These are like, what?
Well, yeah, it's just...
It's a bug's life.
Yeah, how many times have Jehovah's Witnesses been, likened to a bug? You know, the locust. Swarming the earth.
Yeah, they were called the locusts.
It's a bug's life.
Well, you know what? We live in the postmodern industrial revolution, whatever you want to call it. We have herbicide and bug spray for that.
That's right.